In the bustling heart of New York, a tale unfolds of two sisters entwined in a web of ambition, deception, and redemption. Emily Thompson, driven by a fierce determination to succeed, sacrifices everything to outshine her sister Sarah, whose quieter approach to ambition belies a profound integrity. But when ambition turns to betrayal, Emily's quest for success spirals into unforeseen chaos with life-altering consequences. As she confronts her own misdeeds, will Emily find the courage to seek redemption and repair the torn bonds of sisterhood? This gripping narrative challenges us to weigh the cost of ambition against the true measure of success, integrity. With tears in her eyes, Emily accepted Sarah's offer. The road to rebuilding their relationship and Emily's career was long and challenging. There were moments of doubt, of old resentments bubbling to the surface, but slowly, steadily, they made progress. Emily threw herself into her new role at Sarah's firm with the same dedication she had once applied to climbing the corporate ladder. But this time, her ambition was tempered by a newfound sense of purpose and integrity. As the sisters worked side by side, they rediscovered the bond they had shared in childhood. They learned to trust each other again, to support each other's strengths and shore up each other's weaknesses. Years passed, and Sarah's firm grew into a powerhouse in environmental law. Emily and Sarah became known as a formidable team, taking on and winning cases that made real changes in people's lives. One evening, as they celebrated another successful case, Emily turned to her sister. "Thank you," she said softly, "for giving me a second chance, for helping me find my way back to who I was meant to be." Sarah smiled, squeezing her sister's hand. "We all lose our way sometimes," she replied. "The important thing is finding our path again." As they looked out over the city they had both once sought to conquer, Emily reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. She had achieved success beyond her wildest dreams, but not in the way she had originally envisioned. The emptiness that had plagued her for so long was gone, replaced by a sense of fulfillment and purpose. The story of Emily and Sarah serves as a reminder that the path of ambition, when unchecked by moral compass, can lead to unforeseen consequences. It teaches us that it's never too late to right our wrongs, and that true fulfillment comes from living with purpose and integrity. In the years that followed, Emily and Sarah's story became something of a legend in legal circles. Pause. It was a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition, but also a story of redemption and the power of forgiveness. Emily, once driven by a need for external validation, found peace in using her skills to make a real difference in the world. She mentored young lawyers, teaching them the importance of ethics and integrity in their profession. Sarah, whose setback had led her to discover her true passion, continued to lead their firm with compassion and determination. Her balanced approach to life served as an inspiration to those around her. Together, the Thompson sisters became advocates for change within the legal system, pushing for greater transparency and accountability. They used their story to illustrate the importance of maintaining one's moral compass, even in the face of temptation and adversity. As they approached the twilight of their careers, Emily and Sarah could look back on a legacy they were proud of. They had not only made a name for themselves in environmental law, but it also inspired a new generation of lawyers to prioritize ethics and social responsibility. One day, as they sat in Sarah's backyard, watching her grandchildren play, Emily turned to her sister. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if things had gone differently all those years ago?" Sarah was quiet for a moment, considering the question. "I used to," she admitted, "but I've come to believe that everything happened the way it was meant to. Our experiences, even the painful ones, shaped us into who we are today." Emily nodded, a mix of emotions playing across her face. "I'm just grateful that we found our way back to each other," she said softly. Sarah reached out and squeezed her sister's hand. "Me too," she replied. "Me too." As the sun set on that quiet evening, casting a golden glow over the peaceful scene, Emily and Sarah reflected on the long and winding path that had brought them to this moment. They had weathered storms of ambition, betrayal, and redemption, emerging stronger and wiser for the journey. Their story serves as a powerful reminder that success is not measured solely by titles or wealth, but by the lives we touch and the integrity we maintain. It teaches us that it's never too late to change course, to right our wrongs, and to realign our ambitions with our values. In the end, Emily and Sarah's greatest achievement wasn't the cases they won or the accolades they received. It was the bond they rekindled, the lessons they learned, and the positive impact they made on the world around them. As night fell and the stars began to twinkle overhead, the sisters shared a knowing smile. They had come full circle, from rivals to partners, from lost to found, and in that moment they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, guided by the hard-won wisdom of their shared journey. The tale of Emily and Sarah Thompson echoed through the years, a testament to the enduring power of sisterhood, forgiveness, and the pursuit of justice. It became a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way, a reminder that it's never too late to rediscover one's true path. In law schools across the country, their story was taught alongside legal precedents and constitutional amendments. It served as a vivid illustration of the ethical dilemmas that lawyers might face and the importance of maintaining integrity in the face of temptation. But perhaps most importantly, their journey inspired countless individuals to examine their own ambitions and motivations. It encouraged people to ask themselves not just what they wanted to achieve, but why they wanted to achieve it, and at what cost. As the years passed and new challenges arose, the lesson of Emily and Sarah's story remained relevant. True success lies not in outward achievements, but in staying true to one's values and using one's talents to make a positive difference in the world. And so, dear reader, as we come to the end of this tale, we are left with a question to ponder. What path will you choose in pursuit of your ambitions? Will you be guided by the siren song of success at any cost, or will you strive to align your goals with your values? Remember, the choices we make shape not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. Like ripples in a pond, our actions can have far-reaching consequences that we may not immediately see. So, as you go forth to chase your dreams, keep in mind the story of Emily and Sarah. Let it remind you that true fulfillment comes not from outdoing others, but from becoming the best version of yourself and using your talents to uplift those around you. May your ambitions be tempered with compassion, your success measured by the positive impact you make, and your journey, no matter how winding, lead you to a place of purpose and peace. The echoes of ambition. What if the path you chose to achieve your dreams led to unimaginable consequences? In the heart of New York City, where dreams are born and ambitions soar, lived two sisters, Emily and Sarah Thompson. Emily, the elder, was known for her sharp mind and relentless drive. Sarah, though equally intelligent, was more laid back and content with life's simple pleasures. Both sisters had their eyes set on the same prestigious law firm, Goldstein and Associates. Emily, determined to secure her place, worked tirelessly day and night. She spent countless hours in the library, sacrificing her social life and even her health. Sarah, while interested in the position, maintained a balanced approach to life. She studied hard, but also made time for friends, family, and her passion for painting. As fate would have it, Sarah landed an internship at Goldstein and Associates. The news hit Emily like a thunderbolt. She couldn't comprehend how her sister, who seemed less dedicated, could achieve what she had been striving for all along. devastation turned to desperation, and in her anguish, Emily devised a plan that would change both their lives forever. One fateful evening, at a charity gala hosted by Goldstein and Associates, Emily saw her opportunity. She approached Michael Goldstein, the firm's founding partner and Sarah's supervisor. With a carefully crafted mix of charm and false concern, Emily began to plant seeds of doubt about her sister's work ethic. "Mr. Goldstein," she said, her voice laced with feigned worry, "I hope Sarah's doing well at the firm. I've noticed she's been spending a lot of late nights out recently. I just hope it's not affecting her work." Michael, intrigued by this information, began to pay closer attention to Sarah's comings and goings. Emily's words, though seemingly innocent, had struck their mark. Over the next few weeks, she continued to feed Michael carefully selected tidbits of information, each one designed to chip away at Sarah's reputation. Slowly but surely, Sarah's standing at the firm began to crumble. Pause. She noticed the change in how her colleagues treated her, the suspicious glances, the whispered conversations that stopped when she entered a room. Unable to understand why, she threw herself into her work, trying desperately to prove her worth. As Sarah struggled, Emily's star seemed to rise. She was invited to more client meetings, given more responsibility, and praised for her dedication. The guilt of her actions gnawed at her conscience, but she pushed it aside, focusing on the prize she had sought for so long. One day, Sarah overheard a conversation between two senior partners. They were discussing her disappointing performance and questionable work ethic. Shocked and hurt, Sarah confronted Michael, seeking an explanation. But his cold response and thinly veiled accusations left her reeling. With a heavy heart, Sarah made the difficult decision to resign from Goldstein and Associates. She couldn't bear the hostile environment any longer, and the dream she once held dear now felt tainted. As she packed up her desk, tears streaming down her face, Emily watched from afar, a mix of triumph and remorse swirling in her chest. Emily seized the opportunity and secured the position she had always wanted. She threw herself into the work, determined to prove that she deserved this chance, that her actions had been justified. Years passed, and Emily climbed the corporate ladder swiftly. She became the youngest partner in the firm's history, her name whispered in reverent tones throughout the legal community. Her success came at a price, however. The guilt of betraying her sister gnawed at her conscience, affecting her personal life and relationships. Emily's apartment, though luxurious, felt empty. She spent most nights working late, the silence of her home too oppressive to bear. When she did try to date, her relationships inevitably crumbled under the weight of her secrets and her inability to truly connect. Sarah, on the other hand, found her true calling in environmental law. Pause. After leaving Goldstein and Associates, she took some time to reevaluate her life and priorities. She realized that while she loved the law, she wanted to use it to make a real difference in the world. She started a small practice that focused on environmental cases, often representing communities affected by corporate pollution. Her work was challenging but fulfilling, and her practice grew steadily. Unlike Emily, Sarah found balance in her life. She married Tom, a kind-hearted teacher, and they started a family. Her home was filled with laughter, love, and the colorful paintings she created in her spare time. One day, Goldstein and Associates took on a high-profile environmental case. They were representing a large corporation accused of dumping toxic waste in a small town's water supply. To everyone's surprise, they found themselves facing Sarah's firm in court. The case dragged on for months, with both sides presenting compelling arguments. Emily, now managing partner, led the defense team. She was determined to win, to prove once and for all that she deserved her position. But as the trial progressed, she found herself increasingly uncomfortable with the tactics her firm was using. Late one night, as Emily was preparing for the next day's arguments, she stumbled upon some disturbing information. Hidden deep in the files, was evidence that their client had indeed been aware of the toxic dumping. The corporation had chosen to cover it up rather than address the issue, putting profits above people's health. Emily was faced with an impossible choice: continue the deception and likely win the case, securing her position and the firm's reputation, or come clean and risk losing everything she had worked for. As Emily grappled with her decision, memories of her childhood with Sarah flooded back. Pause. She remembered their shared dreams of making the world a better place, of using the law to help people. When had she strayed so far from that path? The weight of her past actions and the current dilemma became too much. In a moment of clarity, Emily decided to do the right thing. The next day in court, she stood up and exposed the corporation's wrongdoing, effectively ending her career but salvaging her integrity. The courtroom erupted in chaos. Sarah, shocked by this turn of events, watched as her sister's carefully constructed world crumbled around her. Despite their estrangement, she felt a pang of sympathy for Emily. In the aftermath of the trial, Emily faced the consequences of her actions. She was disbarred and ostracized from the legal community she had once dominated. But strangely, she felt a sense of relief. The burden of her lies and betrayals had been lifted. Months passed, and Emily struggled to rebuild her life. She took a job as a legal researcher, working from home and avoiding the public eye. One day, she received an unexpected visitor. Sarah stood at her door, a mix of emotions playing across her face. The sisters sat in awkward silence for what felt like an eternity. Finally, Emily broke down, confessing everything: her jealousy, her manipulation, the years of guilt that had eaten away at her. Sarah listened, her expression unreadable. When Emily finished, Sarah took a deep breath. "I can't say I'm not hurt," she said slowly. "What you did, it changed the course of my life. But I can see how much it's cost you, too." To Emily's surprise, Sarah reached out and took her hand. "We can't change the past," she continued, "but maybe we can build a different future. My firm. We could use someone with your skills and experience, someone who understands the importance of integrity." Emily was stunned. "After everything I've done, you'd trust me to work with you?" Sarah smiled softly. "I believe in second chances, and I believe that the sister I grew up with, the one who wanted to make a difference in the world, is still in there somewhere." Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.